I am called Lakisha Ivan, the 8th Speaker of West Nile Subnational Parliament. Some of the issues that affected me so deeply that inspired me to even joining the leadership spaces, the rate at which teenage pregnancy has escalated in the region of West Nile. You find that there is high rate of dropout in schools due to the teenage pregnancy issues.
One of the critical issues we've faced has been issues around knowledge on Srhr, but also the different restrictions and the lack of access to these services in communities, especially last mile communities. The youth-friendly centers in an ideal setting should be providing these services. They should be a safe space, but it's not a place that people usually go to.
The young people fear getting into a sexual discussion with the health workers because the facilities are always not all that private. When you're meeting a nurse, there are a series of lines which is closer to the nurse, and you cannot definitely begin to talk about sexual issues with the nurse when everyone else is hearing.
Young people are not as included as they should, but also the demographic shows that young people are the biggest percentage of Uganda right now, close to 75%. You cannot risk that big demographic not being represented at the table of decision making. The Enhancing Youth Participation in Governance project is a project that focuses on building platforms for young people to be able to participate in good governance, but take use of these platforms to advocate for policies, to influence policies, and to guide and take part in the leadership and decision-making of the country. We conduct trainings with district leadership, sub-county leadership, religious, cultural leaders to create awareness. But also we target the young person to know that I should be at this platform. I should be on this table.
The issues around age of consent have been a great issue for quite a time. In many family planning clinics, in any hospitals, you are going to be faced with quite a number of young girls who are faced with rape, young girls who come in and trying to look for different services, especially contraceptive services, and they cannot get those services because there are limitations to that. And from our discussions, what we found was the Srhr in its broadness was one of the key issues that we needed to address. It was something that everyone came out to speak about.
We met with teams of young leaders across East Africa, and we sat down to address some of these issues, because not only in my area are young people facing similar crises, having been mentored by experts from Srhr on how best we can address some of these issues. We wrote a policy making recommendations to broaden awareness, just that the young people have access to information on sexual health and their rights in accessing these services.
So Faraja's training in the project is a two-way training, creating the understanding and the awareness so that the duty bearers are intentional about having the young people, but also creating the demand that the young people are actually pressurizing the duty bearers, that we know there's a district planning cycle that happens. How do we fit into this cycle? Where do we come in? What do you want from us? And we are available to offer this and this and this.
It was my first time getting into Parliament, you know. I almost spent a sleepless night imagining how it would look like to be in the Parliament. Was so extremely excited. Our speaker was the one who fronted the entire discussion. It was so convincing to the clerk to an extent that the suggestion that we came up with caught his attention, and he promised us that something is going to be done about our recommendation, because they were touching the element that there is a need for an immediate action on the issue of sexual health and reproductive rights.
I've been in spaces where I've shared my voice, I've shared my issues, and they've been left out. I've been in spaces where young people were brought on as photo props. To me, getting to the point where they say these young people have presented a policy brief, that was very fulfilling. I might have gotten a few butterflies coming, and it was quite an exciting one, that actually this was coming to life. This was potentially leading somewhere.
We have an agreement with Parliament of Uganda where they actually recognize the National Youth Parliament as an arm where young people can discuss, can debate on issues that Parliament can easily pick up and own.
So I felt like so big, like I can represent my area.
We do not come to spaces as a place of courtesy, but we bring value to this conversation.